Time for Futures in Focus. We've got a sell-off. It's gripping the crypto market again. Bitcoin touching lowest levels since June. Lots of other smaller cryptocurrencies retreating as well. Ted Seifried of Zaner Hedge at the CME is with us. Ted, what's behind this latest bout of crypto selling?
Well, you know what, Mark? I think it's been there all along. You've had people that have been very skeptical of whether cryptocurrencies are a valuable store of currency or not. And when you have technical breakdowns in the chart, those voices get even louder. Now that we've cracked 6,000 in Bitcoin, that makes it even more concerning, and it looks like we could be rolling over further to the downside. I think it might be just a little bit too early to call it a bubble, but I don't know. It has the makings of something of that nature. When you have so many people that are skeptical of something like that and the selling really kind of starts to pile in, it can cause a run for the doors.
Let's talk about crude, Ted. We're about $68. You say there's key support at 65.70, resistance 68, resistance 73. Where are we heading?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, yesterday it really kind of looked like we were rolling over to the downside under more pressure on the idea that global demand destruction is occurring right now. We're watching the dollar get stronger. That's causing issues. But yesterday's reversal off of key support, I mean, longer-term trendline support, was really pretty interesting and supportive. Now we're running into resistance again in a big cluster of moving averages, like you said, right here at the $68 mark. But if we can get through that, we might go up and test those recent highs. Overall, the fundamentals are getting a little bit more negative. I'm not terribly negative crude oil, but I do think we could roll over and see a bigger correction. I think yesterday's bounce off of key support was just the first time we were testing that support. I'm looking for a bit more downside, but fairly limited in nature.
Ted, what sort of moves can we expect to see in the dollar? It's a move upwards, stopping today, but, you know, it's pretty close to that 12, 13-month high. If you look at the dollar spot index, what's next for the dollar?
Yes. Well, you're right. I mean, so we are close to that 12 to 13-month high. So that is very key psychological resistance. We're also really overbought in the dollar. We're over 70% in the relative strength index. We don't usually stay above 70% in most markets unless there is sort of a parabolic move, and there's something extremely surprising fundamentally driving that. We don't really have that in the dollar. So I think we find some resistance here. I think we can see a bit of a pullback. I don't think it's going to be a major pullback. We're in an upward trend channel. We're at the high end of that trend channel right now. I'm thinking maybe 2 to 400 point pullback, test the bottom end of that trend channel, and then continue upwards. I think overall the fundamentals for the dollar are really rather strong. You look at all the other currencies in the world, not all of them, but a lot of other currencies in the world losing strength. I mean, we've been talking a lot about the euro with Italy. We've been talking about the rupee in India and the lira in Turkey. These are things that are having sort of temporary relief bounces because they've gotten very oversold. Dollar, again, very overbought, could see a correction. But again, longer term, I'm still looking for upside potential.